Mr. Casco?
Yes.
Next is the authorization to award the request for proposal for the feasibility study consultant for the Police Administration Shared Services Study.
Okay, as folks may know, we have spent many months talking about a police administration shared services study with 6 other towns. We have interviewed some of the folks who responded to our request for proposals and have made the decision to go with the Center for Government Research. And this authorization is for me to sign along with those other 6 towns as mayor to enter into a contract for them to provide those services for the study. Any questions?
They said on 512 Landing Road.
So what if the other towns don't approve their $22,000 share? Is this, it doesn't?
Not going to work.
It doesn't work, okay.
Mr. Casco?
Yes.
Richard DiRenzo, I'm a Haddon Heights resident. Question, you have the Borough of Haddon Heights on here? We are not part of this?
Shouldn't be. My
Why is that
fault.
not?
My fault.
Let me ask you a
It's
question.
6 towns total, so it's Audubon, Collingswood, Haddonfield, Mount Ephraim, and Oaklyn.
Okay, Haddon Township's not part of this?
Off.
Haddon Township should be there instead of Haddon Heights.
Haddon
Township.
Haddon Township's not going to take part in it, now tonight. So I think you might have to reconsider.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all right. So amended Haddon Township on this one.
John Schmidt, Gloucester City, New Jersey. I just came from the Haddon Township Board of Commissioners meeting, where all 3 commissioners were unanimous in their decision not to move forward. One commissioner, Commissioner Dougherty, had made a comment regarding, after Mayor Teague had stated that the way this is being funded is by the size of the department. Haddon Township had the largest share of $23,500, followed by Collingswood and Haddonfield at $22,600. With $23,500, this would increase your share probably by at least $7,000 if you move forward with this tonight. I additionally asked the question of if each town was paying an equal share, would that change anyone's opinion? And they were the same answer. All 3 are not going to proceed with this study on this topic, on this issue.
Thank you. Any further public comment? Okay. This, Sharon, I believe that we can pass this because this was authorizing us to sign it.
Correct.
And if there are changes with the other towns or they're not
There is-
choosing to involve themselves, or if they're going to pull out.
I believe that there will be a change to the price, and then we would have to just modify ours.
So we have to come back with another resolution.
Potentially,
Because this
yes.
only authorizes us up to the amount of $22,660.
Correct. Basically, it's potentially that the amount could be less, or it could be the same.
Okay, but not more than.
No,
It will not be more than the amount that's listed in the resolution.
no.
Any further questions?
Seeing no further questions, voting on approval of the amended resolution. Commissioner Muscatelli?
Yes.
Commissioner Rutherford?
Yes.
Commissioner Casco?
Yes. Okay, thank you. That completes our business that we needed to complete tonight. Before we have general open public comment, I'd like to welcome, I think we have 1 4th grade. Thank you. Okay, we're going to flip back on, and if there are any other residents that have questions or comments this evening, the floor is open. Yes, Chris.
No, go ahead.
Oh, go
Well,
ahead.
before I leave, I just, as you're aware, I'm from Haddon Heights, but I'm also a union official. I have a question.
Yes.
When are you going to answer the public that you're doing anything to make the chief permanent?
Do you want to handle that, or is that
Yeah,
something?
I-
Because that's not.
I think the residents have a right to know that.
I think that at the appropriate time, when an agreement is reached or there's an accord, obviously it'll be done in public and the public will know. But at the present time, it's a personnel matter and nothing has been confirmed or agreed to by either side or anyone. The lieutenant is acting as a chief now because the former full-time chief is no longer with us, and we need someone to be in that chief's position, at least for a temporary period. So at the appropriate time, there will be an announcement, but there's nothing to announce now.
I would just hope that you don't base it on the fact that he's a good man like this, to this study that you're trying to do. In fact, I would review that study, the RFP, because it said all towns must participate, and you wrote that up. But again, you have a good man here, and I hate to see these residents lose a good chief because you want to go with a civilian police director.
I don't think anybody up there will disagree with you that he's a good man.
He is a good man.
Good
He is.
business.
I
Thank you.
encourage the residents to speak out about that.
Thank you. We didn't know that.
John Schmidt, Gloucester City, New Jersey. In regards to all three of you voting in the affirmative, proceed with with what might be Collingswood, Audubon, Oaklyn, and Mount Ephraim at this point. How long is your border with Audubon Borough?
3/4 of a mile, maybe?
A block? It's not that big, correct? Haddon Township and Haddon Heights, towns you primarily bordered in this original study. So if you're looking to share services, is it even, please tell me the common sense or your rationale in voting to do a study with towns you really don't have a border with, or you really don't share any public safety issues with. You might share them with Haddon Township, you might share them with Haddon Heights, but what are your public safety issues that you share with the remaining towns that may move forward with the Colonial Alliance?
Well, first of all, we don't know the total answer to that until we have a study done that comes back and tells us what are the types of things that we're going to be able to share and see. So that's part of the reason we're doing this study. But secondly, I think the purpose of looking at police administrative services really goes beyond geography. So it's not necessarily that, we're exactly, how big our border is or that we're exactly contiguous, although the 6 towns as a whole are contiguous. So we're looking at administrative functions that really go beyond geography.
What do you have in common with those 4 other towns?
Well, we have plenty of things in common. You mean as far as police, or as far as socioeconomic, or schools, or traffic, or what?
In terms of police?
Well,
You have to have a basic understanding of what's your current relationship with those towns that you don't even border, or have a 1-block border.
correct.
We have a shared municipal court with Audubon. Our police go there regularly to appear in municipal court. And we share the prosecutor, the public defender.
That's not police, sir.
Pardon me?
That is not police.
Correct, but that's right.
It's police business. They go.
No, it is not, it is not police, sir. It is a
Well, we do have
court.
police officers that go.
They go there to court to testify. They
It
get
is
paid
not-
to do that.
Well,
It's part of their duties and obligations.
listen,
If you think court is part of police, then maybe you need to retire.
John,
Because the answer you gave to Councilman
You know, for 30
DiRenzo of
years,
Haddon Heights,
you know, for 30
excuse me,
let me
the
tell you-
answer you gave to Councilman DiRenzo regarding your lieutenant, your acting chief, that was disgraceful, sir. Disgraceful.
That I said.
And you can sit up there and you can play the spin machine however you want. You can. But the fact is,
John, I'm gonna
excuse me, the
ask
fact
that-
is.
John, I'm going to
the
ask
fact-
that you address your comments to
Okay.
one of us.
The fact
To
is,
me, through me.
the fact is, like I said, you can spin it all you want, but $22,600 for a study which will say God knows what, for towns that you don't even border, that your police don't even probably interact with. If there's a backup call, there's a thing on Haddon Ave, there's a backup call, it's probably Haddon Township coming. It's on Kings Highway, it's Haddon Heights coming. You should know that. It's just, maybe your motives in doing this is you don't want a chief in this town. And if that's the case, then say it. But you decide to spend $22,600 to ultimately make your, that's our nice way, we're just gonna spend tax dollars to, that's what our real purpose is. It's absolutely disgraceful, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you, John.
Just one final comment. And,
Yes.
I appreciate you putting up some of the comments tonight. I understand, I know you go through it.
Goes with the
First,
job,
I
right?
want to thank you for the senior thing, that's nice, that's a good idea. But, talk about sharing. You go to county court, or we're going to share Camden County Metro Police because we go to Camden County Court, and I understand your reasoning. But I want you to think about a couple things. Don't put your hand up to your chiefs and say we're not going to listen, okay? Because we have a lot of good ideas. you have a regional records management system that we can share with the prosecutor's office. That'll save us money and also allows the officers to put the information into a computer and they can find out what this guy did in every other town. We have detectives that we share. So I, again, ask you, forget this study because you're spending $30,000 which is going to come out to cost you for a 4-month study from some guy in California who's probably bringing a surfboard with him, okay? Let's go to our chiefs and say, guys, you have 4 to 5 months, come up with some answers for us. And if that doesn't work, then do this stuff. But give these guys a chance. Right now, you're going like this to them. We don't want to hear this. Think about that, guys. It's important. It's important to your residents. Thank you.
Mayor, can I respond?
Thank you.
Just real briefly.
Go ahead. Very briefly.
The study is not to eliminate a chief.
Yes, it is.
The study has 14 areas in which
Sir?
this particular, I didn't interrupt.
No, I'm sorry. I apologize to you. You're right.
The RFP has 14 areas in which they're going to study budget analysis and staffing and what have you. The interesting thing is this. The state of New Jersey is putting an enormous amount of pressure on municipalities to explore shared services. At the present, and I'm very familiar with that, and I've represented unions all my life. I've represented all the state,
We have a lot of
all the
respect for you.
lieutenants in New Jersey, all the captains, all the chiefs. I organized the chiefs union. I organized the captains union 24 years ago. So I'm not anti-law enforcement. This is to try to save money for taxpayers. The next step that's going to happen, if municipalities don't try to engage in shared services, and I'm not talking about just police, it's across the board, such as courts and so on. If they don't try to explore that, the state's going to force consolidation. We've been hearing that now for the past 10 years, that they're going to consolidate school districts, that they're going to consolidate the services of municipalities. So this is just an exploration to investigate how money can be saved in sharing services. If it can't be saved, then there's no sense of going forward after the study is completed. But we're just trying to do what the state's, this is the state's policy today. Shared services is the coming thing in the future. We may not like it if we're public employees, but it is the future.
Just a quick response. Number one, if the state was so big, when the big on shared services not being pushed above Trenton, the towns that did it in Trenton did not do any consolidations. The borough of Woodland doesn't have to be part of any of the Camden County Metro or is even including your feasibility. This company that's come in doing this study did the thing in Princeton, am I correct? Same company.
They did work with Princeton.
And they're the ones that recommended the chief of police for Princeton, weren't they? You know where that chief of police is now? He's fired, and they have numerous lawsuits by the unions and by residents' complaints about the guy. So again, I understand your point on the study. You have a chiefs association that doesn't cost you a cent. You're raising these people's sewer rates, you're raising all kinds of other things on these people. Do it for free, save that money, maybe put it to surplus for now, and let the chiefs do a study. Give them a chance. That's all we're asking, guys. That's all that's being asked. Thank you.
Thank you. Rick, you make a good point. It's, you know,
And that's what I want to do. I want you to think about some things.
it's good.
Before we move forward.
And so you know, and I think you do know, and so the residents here know, I mean, the mayors in these towns have met with our chiefs, both either individually or even as groups. I've been to meetings and our acting chief has been there. And we are looking, and we have asked them, and we have tasked them with working with us on finding ways to share or to save and economize, both in addition to this study and, as you say, maybe separate from the study. So it's a very good point that, you know, we can look ourselves, within ourselves,
I mean,
and within, you know,
If you
together
have
in
to
our
put money
towns.
aside, that's fine. But give these guys a chance. You know, a company from California telling us how to do policing in New Jersey, it's a little weird to me. In a 4-month time frame to do a study, every town's done a study has been a year to year and a half, 18 months is your average. So a 4-month study, for them to come in here and tell you what you can do in this PD, then go to Audubon, if Audubon stays in this, or Merryfield if they stay in it, the distance doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand it. I could understand if it was Heights, Belmar, Barrington, but what you're picking here doesn't make sense to me, guys. It really doesn't. I think, again, We're doing things in Heights, we're doing a regional management system, we're doing detective sharing, we're doing training together. I think the cost savings should be shown there, I really do. And I think he's gonna be satisfied with what you get out of it. So again, all I ask, give the chiefs a chance.
And Rick, just for the record, some of the longer studies that may take a year or longer, truthfully, those were dealing with consolidation.
Yes.
This study is not to consolidate. We are not consolidating our police departments with others. Let me finish. We are certainly not merging it into the county system. And this, this third party look at, by an outside group is what I think I've talked to a lot of people about, is what is part of a necessary process to sort of get that objective outsider viewpoint. If we do it ourselves internally, people are going to say, that's not really, come on.
Well,
That's not really legit. We want somebody outside, objective, third party, helping you do a study and looking at it fully and objectively.
but if you take the breakdown of your residents, number of residents in town, and take your police budget and divide it into it, what does it actually cost you for a policeman per day? For an officer, $1.74, $2 an officer. You gotta look at those things. There's so many variables to this that you have to look at it first. I think keeping your chief here, the other problem comes out, if you hire a chief for all 5 or 6 towns, by Title 40, we've talked about this. That chief can come in to work that day and say, what, I need 2 officers over in Collingswood. He can take your 2 guys and send them there, and you can't say nothing to him because he has control of day-to-day operations. That's a thought. Keep that in mind.
Thank you, Rick. Okay,